We'll see. I'm getting it close.
Good afternoon, Desk 70.
Good afternoon, Cadet Tom.
How are we doing today?
Outstanding, Cadet Tom.
Good, good. I know it's getting close to plan this week. A lot of busy stuff going on, so I'm glad you guys are staying positive. I'm going to start off today with some Air Force headline news.
What?
With the headlines, I'm Staff Sergeant Alina Richard. The Transit Center at Joint Base Lynn Eustis now has a controlled monitoring area to comfortably house and serve military personnel returning from missions combating the Ebola virus in West Africa. Those service members must undergo a 21-day controlled monitoring program where they will be physically separated from family members and the general public. Air Force officials have approved Air Force Instruction 1-1 to clarify guidance on airmen's religious rights and commanders' authority and responsibility to protect those rights. Several changes were made, so be sure to check on them. Last but not least, records for all airmen separated or retired under the fiscal year 2014 Voluntary Separation Pay Program have been updated to reflect eligibility for transitional medical benefits. That does it for the headlines. I'm Staff Sergeant Alina Richard.
Alright, so that's a lot of important stuff. Just keeping you guys up to date, so some good stuff. Anyway, so today, for those who may or may not know, we're doing a lot of field training prep. So what we'll be doing is we'll be heading over to Thatcher Hall, and we're going to be working on some stuff for field training prep. And a lot of that is going to involve some door maintenance, some, just bed making, laundry folding, that kind of stuff. So it'll be very relevant to the 200s. And whoa, hey. Did anyone see that?
No, Cadet Tom.
Did anyone? I think we need to consolidate and make a report for that because that guy needs to stop. So flight commanders, get your flights together. You have about 10 minutes to create a description about that person, like what they were wearing, what they stole. We need to find out who that was. Get as much information as possible. Your 10 minutes starts now.
We got it. We've been sacked. We can't play it. Everybody come on.
Said you can't blame the Mexican this
Alright, Rob, listen up. Everybody on your own, take 3 minutes. Just write down. Take notes. What's your name? All there are students going over their hat.
need one volunteer from each flight to present their information. We'll start off with Malcolm flight.
Now, on 28th of November, year 2014, at about 16 hours, in room 018 in the business building, a perpetrator came through the southwest doors of the room and ran down to the front of the room, stole a black clipboard with a yellow clip on the bottom, and then ran out the southeast doors. He was wearing a blaze orange fur-lined hunting cap, approximately 6 feet tall, wearing long black tube socks, blue shorts, a white stripe down the sides of the legs, black tennis shoes, a fake beard, a black mask over his eyes. He was a Caucasian male with a skinny athletic build, possibly Cadet Webster, wearing a black sports jacket. And that's all we have.
One person running out of class with a steel item from a business building, Oklahoma State University, wearing black shoes, Nike, black swoosh low top, blue shorts, sports suit, black puff jacket, orange gloves, Oyster logo, fake beard, scarf, black orange, glasses heavily tinted, orange hat, gold brown inside, height approximately 6'2", weight 190 pounds, 16/14/20 November 2014, stole one clipboard, guest Cadet Webster.
And Robert.
So we have the perpetrator was wearing a orange cap, possibly with earmuffs, sunglasses, but the cap had brown fur and a beard. He was in a black morph suit with blue shorts, a black jacket, black board, dark tennis shoes, approximately 6 foot, skinny, came in through the left door, ran to the front, took the clipboard, and left through the right entrance. Definitely male, black gloves, he was unarmed, possibly Cadet Webster, and he had 16.
So we're bringing our Alright, so can someone give me a brief definition of what you think situational awareness means?
Tom, situational awareness is the overall, it's knowing everything that's going on you, or going on around you at any time.
Good, Tom, not allowing yourself to become narrow-minded on one certain topic or subject.
Alright, so for the most part, you guys got the description tree down pat. Saw a lot of orange caps, beard. I think one point said, let's see, blue shorts, black tennis shoes, and who was the thief? I think everyone said you have upstairs. It's true. Alright, so it seems like our detachment is pretty situationally aware, and that's a good thing because in active duty, or just in general, especially with times as there are now, we need to be aware of our situation at any given time. We can't just get tunnel vision and focus on one thing while something else can go completely off in the background and cause a lot of people to get hurt. Luckily, no one in that situation was hurt, just my clipboard got stolen, and I may have to go to therapy. But you know, and as I was saying earlier, before I was rudely interrupted, we are actually going to do some FTP. So we're going to head over to Thatcher Hall right now. We're going to have alpha flights in the POC classroom, doing bed making and doing jig check closets. We're going to have Bravo flight in the conference room, which is in cadet lounge, doing laundry folding and maximum closets. And then we'll have Charlie flight in the joint lounge with the captain speakers. We'll leave Alpha goes first, then Bravo, then Charlie. Are there any questions? Flight commanders, take control. Correction. Flight commanders, take control of the class after yours and then.
Not like when you get into the pillars.
You're gonna have to like wait for other flights to go through. So whenever you stop behind another flight, waiting to get into that's when you stop your time.
So you walk up to the mess checker, you say, Charlie Flight reports with a dining priority of 0630. We arrived at 0632. Our accountability is 17:17. And then if you arrived on time, the mess checker will say, you arrived on time. Whatever else he wants to say to you.
They'll give you some instructions.
You'll have 8 minutes to consume your meal.
What you're supposed to drink. And then after you get all that information, you'll report out to the mess checker and coordinate an arm swing. That's what it looks like. You'll step back like it's opposite. So your left arm will go forward while your left leg goes backwards. It's kind of awkward because you don't normally do it. Like you're taking a step forward with your right foot, so just like that. The opposite.
Yeah, you're gonna look dumb. Just if you don't do it, you're gonna get yelled at. So might as well.
It's because if you do it like that, then they're like, what are you doing?
And then you cry for a little while.
Yeah. Your flight's hungry and then they're done that. And then after you report out, you will go back over to your flight. You'll say flight 10 shut. You get a detention. You're gonna have 2 people carrying a water buffalo, which is just a big Gatorade jug full of water. And you'll tell them to post the water buffalo. And you'll have 2 water monitors, and they're called key personnel. And you'll tell your key personnel to post, and they'll post to the side of the flight. And then they'll go inside the dining facility first before anybody else. Of course, you can post a guide on. And then after the key personnel post, then you just column the files from the left. Column the files from the left. And then you'll say forward, you guys say stand fast.
Alright, so we're gonna give it a run through.
Who wants to do it?
Good job with you. Fill in form. Let's do it.
Pretend like you have 2 people carrying a water buffalo, and then
Hey, we'll say Butler and Upper Grove are the water monitors.
Hold on, don't make Butler. Nelson, you're gonna be a water monitor.
Oh, is Butler deputy?
Yeah, Butler,
Okay.
you're the deputy. No, you're gonna be a water monitor. Stay where you're at.
There we go.
he was telling me
So,
how it goes.
do you guys know what water monitors will do when you go in the defect?
You're carrying the water buffalo? Oh.
No, there's like a separate detail for that. Water monitors are just gonna go in there. You're gonna go in there before everyone else. You're gonna go straight to like behind the counter and everything, and you're just gonna fill up water until the next guy comes and gets you. And as soon as they come get you, you just go in line and get your food. So when he says key personnel post, who we got?
It'll be Butler, Up the Grove, and Nelson.
Oh yeah, so Butler and Up Grove, you're gonna go back, and then Butler, you'll go in front of them, and then you just post right to the side of the flag. All right.
So say you're here. It's your dining party is 6:45.
You guys are afraid, rest now.
Get right on time. Your flight man at the dining facility. Usually they'll give you some sort of instructions like drink this much water, you have this much time, and all that kind of good stuff. So here we go.
Keep personnel post.
When you guys do it, you just do it as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. You don't have to worry about. Right next to the flight.
Post up next to the flight. Remember, Butler's in front because he's a deputy. The deputy's always got to be the first in the door, so make sure the deputy's first. There you go. Really quick, Nelson. Got it on bears. Square. Come!
Charlie Flight Guide on posted!
Then you post the door?
Yeah, you just hold it.
Yeah, just stand there and look good and hold it open.
Yep.
Keep personnel. Oh, hard. Hard! 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.
Well, we decided to do the thing with the most integrity.
Call the pilots from the left to the right. Call the pilots from the left. Oh, hard!
Stand fast. And you'll repeat forward. You'll turn right.
Everyone will turn their head in the direction that he, pretty much in the direction that he says. So it's like calm pilots from the left, everyone puts their head to the left.
Is it staying fast?
Stand fast. You can say guys call it forward. You echo the command.
It has 25 degrees to stay, 25 degrees to face it. You're going to call these
It's about like right when you're seeing their last person pass you, you just say second column. You just say forward.
Make sure you're keeping the gates.
Only the element leader salutes and gives to non-leader the day as I'm marching. Keep it silent.
No.
Don't worry about filming all this right now. There won't be. You're going to be like this far from the door. There's not going to be any room for anything to be shared.
I did all one time. You never know.
Do you know how much time we have here?
You're going to say forward at the same time as there's that step.
Alright. You guys got it? Go for it.
Call the pilots from the pit. Oh, hard!
Stand fast.
Son!
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
You'll say
Forward. March. Up. 2, 3, 4. Forward. March. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2.
Make sure you're swinging your arms.
I can try one more time.
Just let them go because they're kind of running low on time.
Yeah, that's right. Then you hold the door for him.
This is at our summer camp.
Is, as you heard outside, there are 2 water monitors who will come in. There will be a door that leads behind the counters where they'll be serving your food at. If you remember in high school, there's like those metal, like the lunch ladies stand behind, they serve you the foods. It's basically the same thing at Maxwell, and they'll be standing behind those, and there's a door that leads back there. The 2 water monitors will go back there, and they'll find their way over to the water dispenser and Gatorade machines, and they'll just be filling water. They'll run out of cups, you go grab some more cups, put the rack down, fill up more water. It's a pretty easy job. And the one thing you need to remember is when you're a water monitor, you wear your cover the whole time you're in there until you're done. And then you'll take your cover off and go get in line and get food.
No matter what uniform you're in, even if you're in PTs, wear your cover.
All right, so what will happen though, as soon as you come in, assuming you came in, there'll be 2 sets of doors. Did you guys explain that? There'll be 2 sets of doors when you go in? Okay, so there'll be 2 sets of doors. There'll be a right side door and left side of door. The right set of doors will lead to the right side of the building, which is where you'll be eating and getting your food and stuff, and then the left doors will be just the complete mirror opposite of that. So as soon as you come in the right side doors, we'll say this edge is a wall. You'll come in, first person in line, and you'll stand here. This will be the deputy. He'll stand right here. The line will fill up behind you, and then there'll be a second line that'll fill up right next to them. Okay? What you'll do is you'll wait for everyone to get inside. There'll be a hand sanitizer thing on the wall as you come in. Be sure to sanitize your hands. Don't want to be dirty, gross, sweaty hands and stuff. You come in, you'll stand at the wall, and you'll wait. And as soon as everyone's ready, in line together, you will look. There'll be a line here. Be sure you're not crossing the line. They get really mad if you cross the line. CCAs get super, super mad if you cross the line. They'll just yell at you the whole time. You'll wait, and as soon as your partner's ready, you'll look both ways. Make sure no CCAs are coming. And say post. And what will happen is you and your partner, in synchronization, will walk up. Say we're starting back here. We'll walk up, and this is your silverware. And you'll stand, and you'll come over here. First person will stand here, other person will stand here, and you'll grab your silverware off the table. So there'll be trays and silverware and stuff, and you'll grab that. And then in synchronous again, stay about face. And turn around. Salad right here. I know it's a lot to take in. I'm just trying to. Salad bar table, put your tray down, fill it with salad stuff, okay, fill it with stuff. Then you go over there. You go to the room side, that's probably more. But then there'll be a bunch of serving areas that you'll go, and what you do is you'll put your tray down on the you know, they get the tray sliders in front of the serving things. You'll stand there and you'll just go around and they'll ask you, hey, would you like this, would you like this? They'll put it on plates for you, hand it to you. You be sure you're at position of attention with your eyes locked. Though you can kind of get away with talking to a whole bunch of ladies.
Yeah, if you're nice to them, they give you extra food.
They'll give you
outside
outside
with the old ladies as much as you can.
Learn their names.
Yeah.
So fun. They're the only time you get to be nice. Yep. Genuinely nice to someone other than your flight mates. Because you will not be happy ever again as soon as you're done. So you're proceeding along the line. We'll say this table is it, and you get done. Get to the end of the line, and you'll pick your tray up, and you'll walk. And you excuse me, please. Just turn around. We're going to go to the tables now. You'll walk all the way to the outside table. This is kind of similar to how it's going to be. So there's going to be a corner back there with the farthest table, and they'll be in rows like this. And how it goes is you'll go as far as you can to the wall, and you'll turn, and you'll go as far back table as you can, and you go to the far outside seat, and ground your tray. Then you'll wait. So the next person will come, and instead of coming over here, they'll go to the opposite side of the table. So this is seat 1, this is seat 2, this is seat 3, and this is seat 4. And then what happens as soon as the person gets to seat 4, they're burning. If you want to act like you're the seat 4 person.
Yeah.
So we have our trays.
So I stop, and I'll say, be seated. And we'll all get our stuff, go set it down. I'll pull out my watch, and a moment of silence. Right?
Mm-hmm. Say a moment of silence, and then you'll bow your heads, do whatever you will, whether that be pray or just think internally. Free for once how much it's going to stink to sit attention and eat your food. And then after the moment of silence,
say, enjoy your meal.
Okay.
And I put my watch right in the middle of the table. If you don't put the watch in the middle of the table, someone's going to throw a fit. They'll, like a CTO will come and be like, where's your time hacked? And he's like, I got it on my wrist. I'm like, well, how does everyone else know? It's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. And does everyone know how to sit at the position of attention? If you don't know, please raise your hand. Okay. As a demonstration, you'll want to sit the front 6 inches of your chair. No one's going to measure 6 inches. You should not be comfortable. This
It's the front 2
is the front
inches.
6 inches of your chair. I'm about to fall off my seat. That is the front 6 inches of your chair.
He's probably at like 3 inches, but to CTAs it's probably 6 inches. You should feel like your chair is about to flip over.
If your thighs are hurting, that's you
Feet are at feet are 45 degrees, knees together. Hands are in fists as they would be if you were at attention, and they're on your knees, and you're sitting like this. But when you're eating, instead of having on your fists, you're just holding stuff and eating. Because the only difference is you can't just pull it to your face, and you can't look down. Or you cannot put your head down, is what they told us. You can look down with your eyes, but your head has to be up, and you have to take the food up, put it in your mouth, and bring it back down. And if you're not using this hand, it better be under the table. Nothing going on. And as soon as if you're done taking a bite, you're chewing, put the fork down, and put your hand in your head. Because they do not want to see any hands idle, doing nothing. Very irritating.
And if you feel like you're about to like spill something when you're bringing your fork up, make sure like your whole bend at the waist, move everything forward over your tray. Don't like, I don't know what you do. Just make sure everything's straight and bending forward at your waist.
So periodically throughout, what will happen is the person who put their watch down will pick it up, and we'll show everyone, make sure everyone knows what time it is. As soon as everyone's done, the general courtesy thing to do is as soon as you finish your water, you put the cup upside down. If there's one person who takes their time, usually set them as like the last person who finishes, they'll wait until they've seen everyone else is done, and when you're done, you put your napkin on your plate. As soon as you're done, they'll drink the last cup of their water and put it upside down. As soon as they put their hand down, everyone will stand up. Position one and position 4 will be taking trays. So what will happen is position 3 and position 2 will pass their trays to the right. So I will have a tray, and the person opposite me will have 2 trays and cups. Put the cups and the plates and stuff on there. And what will happen is position 3 will pick up the napkin dispenser. Position 2 will take a napkin and wipe down the table. Put it down, put their stuff down, and then they will take their trays and proceed along the flight path to the nearest tray rack.
So it'd be probably right behind me.
If we enter over here.
If you enter, actually,
all the way down here.
it's going to be kind of, it's kind of hard layout.
It's somewhere on this wall over here.
Needless to say, what will happen is you'll come and you'll take your stuff and you follow the flight path around and then back up and then say that I'm back at the flight tray. Everyone will be going to it, so you'll know where it is. If someone will be getting yelled at, you'll find out where it is, I promise. Because it's a hard layout to really explain in such a small room. And you'll start from the bottom, farthest back, so you'll put it down, slide it all the way back, get up, and then you'll just proceed out in pairs. And that's basically it.
Alright, we got like 3 minutes left. You guys got any questions?
Yeah, does anyone have any questions? Anything I didn't explain well?
Kind of a lot.
You leave in the same pair as you enter, is that correct? Or just
Not necessarily the same pair. You have to be with someone. Even if you don't know them. Even if they're on another flight, you need to be with someone or you will be there.
So then you're going to have to figure out how to get, you can't go back to your flight by yourself, so you got to be like, hey, give me 2 people from your flight, drop me off, you 2 minutes ahead. It's
like sometimes, like prime example, maybe what will happen is they have trays that you put your stuff in. Let's say the person before you put in the tray, and then that was the last tray that container could hold, and now they have to go get a new one. Okay, well now you're stuck until they get a new one, and if they just walk off, now you're there by yourself, and you got to find somebody to.
And they have to find someone because they've screwed this.
So does that mean you will not always be eating with only your flight mates, but you can have
Most of the time you will. Like if you're at the front or the back of your flight when you go in, you might have like 1 or 2 people. For the most part, you're with your flight.
It was the same one that
Okay.
says.
One quick comment: when you're sitting down, like I said, you can look down. Fight the temptation to look around, to not look around. Okay, because there are chow sharks that are just waiting for you to just go, whoop, look over here, and then they're immediately going to jump on you and say, "What are you looking at that's over there? What's so important that you should be focused on your food? Don't be looking around. Just focus." So, yeah.
All right. Any last quick questions before you guys head out? Libby, what do you want?
Are there any food choices you should avoid?
At Maxwell?
Like trying to eat spaghetti in 7 minutes?
It's impossible to eat
whatever you can get. Load your plate up
get
with
whatever
that.
you can get. There's dinner rolls and like bun warmers they have. Grab as many of those as you can. If you like bread that fills you up really quick, be sure you get the minimum is a water and a Gatorade. You can get more than that.
They'll probably
Feel
tell
free.
you when I went reported in, they would always tell me like drink 2 Gatorades and 1 water, or 2 waters, 1 Gatorade. All right, that's all the time we got.
I know it's a lot to take in.
Yeah,
You will learn it when you get there.
Just a quick.
Ask questions.
So at Jeff Cadet, unlike Maxwell,
White collar, dust cover, open air.
Yes.
Yep. All right.
It has to be exactly
So,
like that.
We have 2 white sheets right here. This is your head of the bed. This is the foot of the bed. For our training purposes. All right. So with this bottom sheet, does anybody know which side you want to line it up on?
The first one? That might
Yeah, on the bottom sheet. Which side of the bed do you want to line it up?
like that is. You have your hospital quarters.
Yeah, bottom sheet, we'll line it up at the foot of the bed. You want it literally as perfect as possible. You want it perfectly lined up, not 1 millimeter over, not 1 millimeter under. That's pretty perfect to me for training purposes. That'll work.
It'll be metal with shelves.
Then you want to straighten out everything. You want it to be as flat as possible because they will find it.
And you know, you may think like
That is good enough for training purposes.
you may think like there's a little wrinkle or a little rumple like that. It's not a big deal, but like when come time to put the actual dust cover on and you start making your colors and everything and tucking, it is a big deal. It makes a huge difference. It looks very sloppy in their eyes, and it's very easy to spot. All right, so what side does this sheet get lined up with? The other side, the head of the bed,
Yeah. Again, you want to line this up perfect as possible.
And then just it goes back like that. So
That is as perfect as possible for training purposes. All right. Again, make sure there's no creases in it.
Now comes the time for the heavy lifting. Get a feel of that. You're going to be sleeping.
Shirts and one, towels and
This bottom sheet, you want to tuck it in the head of the bed, but not the sides, to where it's hanging out like that.
So luxuriously comfortable. Hope you're not allergic to wool. That would really bite.
You have the same material there?
It's actually a little bit strange, but that's kind of like, don't get your challenge. It's not like,
you learn to enjoy it. You learn to enjoy bedtime a lot.
One thing that I don't the same now.
Actually, this seems to be a perfect line with that.
It seems to be perfectly aligned.
Why is that as well?
You guys know.
At least not from my
Turn sideways?
Turn sideways? Turn sideways?
I like build
I don't think maybe a bit late. He said no.
You have me.
Okay.
But
now,
the one thing that I
comes the light color part.
one thing you can guarantee about that is
blanket,
it's going to get
top sheet.
Have this fold it over
from
first.
max to max.
White sheet, retail sheet, you need to be perfectly symmetrical.
Okay.
We did, but we don't have anything to be a little bit different.
You guys don't, you're going to have a bunch of gaps like this, and again, it's going to be very obvious. That's one thing that I like about
Alright, each fold, 6 inches, perfectly 6 inches, not 5 7/8, because they have their yardstick that they carry around, they'll find it. They will gig you on 1/8 of an inch off, on either side. You have to make sure it's 6 inches right here, 6 inches right here, 6 inches right here. I got a gig one time because I had 6 inches right here and 5 7/8 right there. So that got a full gig for it.
The bed is where you lose a lot of gigs. Like each drawer at Maxwell, they can only give you 1 gig per drawer. It's either right or wrong. Bed, I've seen somebody walk away with like as much as I did. And that's enough to fail. Yep.
So once you have it fold it over once, have it perfectly aligned, you're going to fold it again.
saying something exactly the opposite of somebody.
Does anybody know the total distance from this trail end, or the position might be 24 inches.
That's one thing you're gonna want to.
So it'll be 18 inches this part. So yeah, you want to make sure literally you are yanking on it to where it is as tight as
And
possible.
generally, whenever you're doing this, you have 2 of you doing it at one time. I mean, you're going to work together. Whoever's on that non-inspection side is just tucking in this crap as hard as they possibly can. You're going to need on the inspection side to be as tight as possible, right?
Your non-inspection side, it obviously like has to look presentable when you're looking at the bed, but they're not going to sit there and measure your hospital basically.
So the stuff they give you is horrible. Like just as a guy had a kid in my flight where the comforter they gave him, it was perfect on that side, but if you made it perfect on that side, it just randomly started cutting off like this. Like it was a triangular shaped comforter, and he had to make it work. So like all of this was just sheet, and that's the best you could do. Make work please.
The ones, the comforters at Jiff Tech too, they're that really slick material, kind of like a sleeping bag.
Yeah, they need to be.
Worst material to try to make a hospital bed or a bed at all. And plus to sleep with, like I'd wake up and it'd be like 60 degrees in that room, not have a blanket on it, you know, like a coffin. Anyways. All right, so hospital corners.
Does anybody know how to do hospital corners? All right.
How much time do we have?
And that's because you're working with jet.
How much more time do we
When
have?
you leave a wrench inside the engine,
Hey Webster, how much more time do we
turns
have?
the engine on,
I don't know.
it might explode that engine.
Correct. That's why everyone have a chance to see everything.
I'll never tell you. Don't gather around if you want. If you want to just.
Okay, what they're making is a white collar bed. Okay, so just FYI.
All right, hospital corners. So there's a couple different ways to do this. It's gonna look the same regardless. Whether like some people like to just like pinch a certain point,
Do it on
or
this side.
some people like to just like grab the end right here. What do you want to do? Hold on, we have to pull this over one more time. All right. The way I do it, just kind of grab at the end. You're gonna pull this all the way up, and you're gonna put your arm just right here, right along the edge of the bed, to where you can flatten this out, pull it straight.
In this room.
You can kind of fix wrinkles after, but you want to have your arm right here.
Yeah, get where you guys can see, especially you 200, so 250.
Can you guys see this? Yeah. So you see how I grabbed about halfway? You're forming a triangle. Smack your arm under there. Just kind of straighten out the sheets as much as possible. So you see, right there. You have the sheet coming down right there. Then tuck it under. Then you can start straightening it out. Or if you need to redo it, you can.
If you can get good at hospital corners before you go to training, that is probably one of your most valuable assets.
Okay, in order to tighten up these, you want to pull it from the bottom and push it into the side. Does that make sense? So don't ever like try and do that because then you're going to mess up your hospital corn. So you pull it from the bottom to make it tighter.
You'll see at field training too, you'll get like up under the beds, like it's literally that chicken wire stuff. So you have to like sit there for little pinchers, what we call them, and like sit there and pull the sheet through one by one.
Are there allowed to be wrinkles underneath the actual?
As long as they can't tell.
What they can't see, they can't grade you on.
Alright, so another point of order. Inspection side and non-inspection side. You're not graded on the full bed. What side is the inspection side and what side is it not? Anybody know? Right. But there's a general like rule. So if you're whichever side of the bed is toward the wall is a non-inspection side. The one that's like towards the middle of the walkway, because there's on both walls in Garrison, you got bunk here, bunk here. Toward the middle is the inspection side for both sides. So anything that's that's on the non-inspection side, you don't have to mess with. Meaning, make it look neat and everything like that, tuck it in tight, but you don't have to spend as much time. What you really need to be concerned with is from here all the way to this side right here, where it cuts off. Make sure that looks perfect and you're golden. Because if you don't, if you spend too much time on the entire bed, chances are, in that 5-minute time hack, you're going to bust it and then the sheet's going to fly again.
So to finish this up, you want to do hospital corners on the opposite side too with the blanket. Make sure to tuck everything in. The foot of the bed is completely tucked in. The sides hanging out just like we did with this one. Then you're going to make hospital corners same way as that, just with the blanket on top. You're going to tuck those in. Make sure the line right here should be exactly 6 inches, not 5 7/8, not 6 1/8. It has to be exactly 6 inches. And you need to be able to stick your fingers through here and reach through. There's a way to do it to where it's pretty much just solid, but they'll stick their yardsticks in there to make sure it'll go all the way through. So once you make your hospital corners on those sides, you'll tuck this in under the sides, and that's pretty much it. And then you'll have your pillow.
Hey Charlie, if you started on the bed, go ahead and go over the Jeff block here just for a few minutes just to kind of get the idea of that.
And last but certainly not least, the pillow.
You got the main idea of the bed.
Yes, there's even a certain way to do the pillow. Let's get it right here.
That's
down. That. Lay down. Pull that back. Over.
Okay. So this is a Just Tech blocker. It'll basically look just like this. The clothes, no, but the locker itself, it will.
So your bottom sheet.
The way Jiftech does it, have you guys already seen Maxwell Walker? No. Okay. So Maxwell, it's going to be straight from the FTM, Field Training Manual. How it's in there, it will be exactly like that. Jiftech, on the other hand, there is maybe one page on lockers, and it just tells you where to put your laundry bag and shoes, basically. Shoes will not go there; they'll actually go under your bed, but we put them there just to have them. As far as your clothes items go, the first couple days you'll have your squadron standardization officer actually design the locker itself. So your whole squadron will be standardized, but you won't be standardized throughout the whole group for wing. But eventually, wing staff will get their stuff together and send down standardization to where exactly how your locker should be, and that's how you're going to follow it. So it's going to be more on the fly. You won't know exactly how it's going to look going into field training.
It might be your job to standardize the lockers for the whole entire match.
Right. So make it look good. You'll carry a lot of stuff over from Maxwell. Like shirts are all going to be rolled the same way. Everything's probably going to be folded, rolled the same way, but where they go might be different. Like this one has the PT shirts and the white shirts. Most likely you won't actually have white shirts because what did we do with our blues? I know for y'all, you guys left them at Maxwell. But for us, we took them, but
we put them in our carry-on.
We did put
You
them
don't
on.
wear them at your head.
Yes.
Deployed environment, not wear blues at deployed environment. So like your carry-ons that you can bring, you don't get to keep those with you.
Yeah, so like you walk through the door and then like
So you'll put your remote quarters and blues and everything in there. So you won't have white shirts, but you'll have your sand shirt, sand shirts, PT shirt, PT stuff, everything. It'll all be here, and you most likely won't have enough room for it all, but you're gonna have to make it work. We use the bottom locker for our miscellaneous stuff like shampoo, spray bottles, weapons we put in here.
that big.
Like all that stuff, like your manuals, everything like that, it'll eventually have a standardization, but if not, you guys are going to have to figure it out yourself and standardize it throughout your whole squadron, which is just 2 flights, you and your substitute. So, are there any questions? I know it's kind of vague.
Any questions about anything we learned about today?
This, beds. You guys did defect already?
Yes, we did. On your pants, you hook both far right?
Yeah, so this is how it'll go. It'll go blouses, then pants. And then on your pants,
it tells you exactly what you have to do.
Yeah, if you look, your fly is going to be out.
Fly out the door.
Fly out the door. And also, it's going to be on the left when you're looking
This
at
will
it.
be level and you do perfectly, yeah. And there's certain rules, like there's special displays that you're going to have, where you're going to have one uniform that's like, looks like you're about to wear it, and the rest you don't. And then like the special displays you leave unzipped and unbuttoned and everything, and
That's all in the field training.
And you basically don't touch them throughout all of Maxwell.
Yeah.
But so yeah, you'll most likely have it like that. I think we actually got authorized several special.
It'll be completely
I can't
different. You
remember.
won't be given these exact tickets. You'll be given one like
Anyways,
on
on here, same as Maxwell, if you have a cap, it's going to want to be even with the base. Like
They're going to
you
walk up to
should-
the ruler.
Yeah.
And do this. And like right now, I just hit the cover. Gig right there. So you should be able to cross.
So you won't have a belt unless you bring an extra one, because you'll be wearing it, or it'll be on your special display. Other than that,
Any questions overall with anything?
For the special display at GymTech, will that be standardized by our squadron as well?
It'll probably carry over from Maxwell. So a special display is ready to go. So like you'll be in PTs in the morning, and then you'll have a special display in, which special display will be fully unbuttoned, and then one pants will also be on the same hanger,
Okay.
and then everything faces to the left as well. So like your blouses will face left, and you put it
Then
in.
when you're not, when you're not in, like if you're in PTs, obviously you're not wearing your belt, so your belt would be on the
It'll be on your it'll be on your pants ready to go. So all you have to do is just throw it on,
Okay.
and then it should be
a
ready.
special display of blues and a special display of ABUs. If you're wearing ABUs, then you don't need a special display of ABUs.
And you'll also have your rank on as well, but you cannot have rank on any other item.
You gotta go though.
Yep.
Thank you.
The most complex one out of all of them that you got that you're gonna need fold. So shirts are, I mean, it's simple, but it's the most complex of all of them, and it's the most time consuming. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna, first thing you need to do is you flatten everything out. Make sure that it's all like good flat edges. You don't wanna have it like all wrinkled up and stuff in the middle, because that'll show up later. And you're gonna bring it across towards you. So make sure it's face down whenever you first start, then you bring it towards you, and you kind of want to make everything symmetrical so everything's lined up. Then you fold the sleeve back away from you, that way you have like a straight line all the way down. Fold it away from you again. You still want a straight line. Then you can just flip it over. Make sure everything is nice and flat. If you have a partner, sometimes it helps. I did it without a partner. It's kind of up to personal preference. It looks better probably with a partner sometimes. You want to roll it up as tight as you can, and what I do is I use my pinkies right here and keep them on the edges. That way nothing will stick out, because you don't want to get that. So you just start rolling. Boom. At the end, you want to make sure this is flat. It's not always going to be the flattest, and if you have a problem with that, you can kind of just do this. Just bang it, then boom, flat. What you want some of your Air Force emblem to show right here, and then, yeah, that's about it. The tag, not really much you can do with it. So then you're just going to put it in your drawer, and it's going to be like this, depending on what your flight is. Sometimes someone will do it like this, someone's doing it like that. So that's pretty much shirts in a nutshell. Just going to take socks.
Socks are pretty simple. What I like to do
is just you'll lay your sock out. Try to have the heel up or down so you don't have you're not worried about the curve, right? So it makes it really easy. Just do that. You'll get your other sock, and the biggest thing to know right here is that when you're putting it on top, you want to leave about 1 inch over here. So you're not putting it directly over. So I just kind of get this over here. So I'm just trying to rush through this right now. But sock on top, or the heel on top, overlapped right there. And then what you want to do is you just roll it up like that. Thank you for the tail of it. You do this with the partner again, makes it really nice. So you roll it basically all the way up. Thank you. Got it. So once you get to the edge right here, you're going to put your fingers in here, and you're just going to wrap it up in itself. Does everyone see what I did in there? Just pull the extra edge over. Then you kind of want to just smooth it out. And what the finished product should look like, you should have a smile on the one side. So this is probably the most important part. You just want to manipulate that a little bit. So you have a smile, and then over here, you want to make sure it's flat. So this is not very, it's okay. But, yeah.
My technique for this part is since sometimes you're going to have it like this whenever you get done, you don't want this little floppy part, you can literally just take your hand and fold it like this, and what that does is it just tightens it up along the edges, and then you just go back and manipulate your smile to where it looks good. Just kind of flatten everything out, and voila, happy sock.
You'll fold your other socks the same way. So if you have black socks for your blues, or if you have white socks, or whatever kind of socks for your PT, even if they're the small ones, you'll do the same general idea. It's a little bit more difficult, but same idea.
So don't bring small ones?
It's up to you.
They're easier to put on,
preference.
but they're harder to fold.
Yeah, they're actually kind of really big of a pain in the butt to fold, because I had those and I wish I would.
I had no problem.
I wish I would have had longer socks, but. All right, so for shorts, you're gonna fold your boxers the same way. What you do is, whenever you just kind of initially set them down, they're gonna be kind of folded, they're gonna be kind of out like this. You just want to take them, pull this over to where it's a flush line, kind of straighten everything out. Take it, fold it up to the top, flush again. So you're gonna have this excess left over here. You just kind of fold it back to where it's another straight line. Everything's all about keeping them smooth and straight on both sides, so you have like a rectangle going. Then all you have to do is you have to fold it over once, fold it over again, kind of tuck your dingle dangle thingy in there. Keep this line, keep the inseam in the middle. Just kind of straighten everything out, and voila, you're done with your shorts. It's easy. So everybody take some stuff.
Field training, you're going to pick your bed, and that's going to determine what occupation you are. So first thing you walk in your room, you want to make sure there's no dust, everything's clean, because that's an automatic gig. If you look up here, it has a specific thing in the FTM where it wants everything. You turn to page 82, it's going to say 11 inches or 2 inches. 11 inches if you have 3 people in your room and you're in a closet by yourself. 2 inches if you share a closet with somebody else. If not, you want everything grounded, so you want this grounded against the wall. You want this grounded right here. When they check, they're literally going to slide a ruler like that. Oh, that's a gig because it moved it, so it's too far off the wall. It's like this, they see too much wood, that's a gig because it's not, flush with the front. You're going to evenly space everything, and there's literally paragraphs denoting how they want every single thing in the closet done. Next, moving on to basics of these, you're going to have you can have 3 extra hangers per person during inspections, which are going to be grounded to either wall. Your order of your uniforms are going to go special display, and then all your extra ones. So we don't have special display up, and Cadet Fischetta will explain that here in a second, but then it goes blues, ABUs, so on and so forth. If your poncho's wet, you don't hang it up here, you hang it right here. And all this is evenly spaced throughout.
We don't have it evenly spaced, we don't have the time, but like he said, it goes blues, ABUs. He's got he's got a shirt and pants separate, he's got an ABUs pants shirt and trousers separate, and then we have one together. Now this is the one that you're going to be ready to go with, okay? You're going to have 3 ABUs when you're there, you're going to have 2 sets of blues. Most of the time you're going to be wearing ABUs or your PTUs. You're going to have plenty of PTUs. So if you're wearing your ABU set, you're going to have one ready to go, okay? You could be outside in the rain or mud or whatever, well you got to come in and change because they can't keep you that cold. So that's why this one's ready to go, because you still have training to do. So in the training, this can all be unbuttoned, the belt can be left on, but if you're already wearing one, your belt's already going to be on, so don't even worry about it. So your pants, where your trousers, your flap is, it can be unbuttoned, and so can the front. This can be unbuttoned, it's ready to go. Every other pocket button, though, better be buttoned. They will check. They literally lift up every flap. They go through all your clothes. Now your separate one, okay, this is all completely buttoned. Every pocket's buttoned. This is completely buttoned. It's going to hang there nicely, because you may not even be able to wear this for a while. But your top button's not buttoned, because that's how you wear your uniform anyways, okay? Trousers, every single button is buttoned. Now this is hard because a lot of you will put your flat cap or MRE or something in your cargo pocket. You'll put a pen there, but you gotta take it out. All of it's gotta come out, okay? So you gotta remember to button all your buttons all the time. No matter, even if you're wearing the uniform, button your buttons all the time. So even the flaps button, but you can tell all these are buttoned and they hang exactly the same. Your pants, your trousers hang over it, and these are flushed with each other, meaning like if it was hanging like that, that'd be a gig. They have to be flushed. Flushed. And then their sides have to be flushed, okay? If it was hanging on here like this, that's a gig, okay? Flush, completely looking nice. The butt of your pants is gonna face the same way as the open face of your shirt. See that? And your pants are exactly flushed with each other. So these bottom of the pants are flushed with the waist of your pants. On the shoes.
All right, so shoes, you're gonna have this exact same order of shoes. You have 2 PT shoes. This closet's not big enough, but if you have a second set, you would put it behind that one. The heel's gotta be touching the wall or the heel of every single shoe. Your shoes have to be laced like this, tightly to where this is touching all the way up. Shoelace is tucked in. You normally have more room in your closet. Further back, you have your laundry bag, which can be half full during inspection. That's it.
All right, so those shoes would not pass inspection. If you don't know how to shine shoes, and his are pretty shiny, but they still wouldn't pass inspection. Yeah. You better get to shiny shoes. Maybe Talbots might pass. The rest of you need to shine shoes. So the sides of your flaps will be so tight, you can't fit your foot in there at all. It'll literally be pulled so tight, and all your shoelaces go inside your shoe. Understood?
All right, you guys gotta be downstairs 30 seconds, please.
Right, as you guys know, college is somewhat expensive. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Some of you that have been paid and have not been paid, and we're, again, working through those issues. I'd like to say that we have worked through those, but we're still progressing. We just haven't accomplished it yet. So to get some other people some money, there are different ways to earn scholarships. A lot of them, as you know, deal with being a 4-point student, making very good grades, doing well on the PFA, and for those new here, they have a in-college scholarship program. Basically, it's my commander scholarship that I hand to one well-deserving individual, but you have to meet a lot of criteria like great grades, integrity, very upstanding. My big one is showing the heart to be here, the internal fortitude to give forth that extra effort. Is everybody? So that hasn't always been offered due to congressional budget cuts, but this semester they have afforded us the opportunity to give that to one well-deserving individual. So everybody want that one?
Yes, sir.
Full ride. I've got one. I've got one full ride. Not to be misconstrued here, full ride does not mean that you show up and got endless amounts of cash. It means that your tuition and fees are paid, not board, food, stuff like that. So, Cadet Ludden. Give you a dollar amount that goes with this for the next 3 years. So we'll backdate, and hopefully if the system gets updated correctly, it will cover this semester for the next 2 years. So this year and the next 2. It's a type 1 scholarship that will cover upwards of $18,000 per year, $9,000 per semester. So it is in your best interest to give 100%. I don't need you to give 120 or 150 or that percentage that's over what you can't give. I want you to do your best, show that you want to be here, show that this is a way of life that you're looking for. And that's what he's done. And he's earned a considerable chunk of change. So congratulations again. not to be outdone, you've got a stack of paper to fill out with me later. I hope you didn't have anything planned for the next 30 minutes to an hour, but you're going to sign your life away. And actually, in speaking about signing your life away, in association, this is something that you won, right?
Yes, sir.
You think that you're going to accept it and you're going to progress to be a second lieutenant and stay with the program?
Yes, sir.
Well, then we'll have you come back up here and we'll do the oath of enlistment. Give you an opportunity to think about it in that 30 seconds there. You soak in and you're like, oh yeah, I guess I'm going to do this, right? All right. So this would be where someone would call attention.
Room tent, hat!
Thank you. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Austin Litton,
You solemnly swear or affirm.
solemnly swear.
Will support and defend.
I will support and defend
The Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States
Against all enemies.
against all enemies,
Foreign and domestic.
foreign and domestic.
And I bear true faith.
Bear true faith
And allegiance to the same.
allegiance to the same.
That I will obey.
I will obey
The orders of the President of the United States.
the orders of the President of the United States.
And that I will obey.
And I will obey
The orders of the officers appointed over me.
the orders of the officers appointed over me.
According to regulations.
According to regulations
And the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
And this is where I cannot say, so help me God. Congratulations. That paperwork you have to sign. Okay, so there's also some emails that went out regarding some other scholarship opportunities. There were only a few that even qualified to be able to earn this one. This particular scholarship comes with a guaranteed EA. For those new freshmen, a guaranteed EA means that you will go to field training if you continue in the program to that point. So everyone else will have to compete for an EA. This is a guaranteed EA. You will go to field training. The other piece of that is that you will have an expedited EAD. So again, you get a guarantee to field training, and then if you make it through the rest of the program, you're not going to hang out and wait for a year or so to go get your EA and come on active duty. This also is a Type 2 scholarship, which means it's capped at $18,000 per year, $9,000 per semester. And it's, again, they competed upwards of 600 individuals, and they gave out, I think, 10? 20? Okay, so highly selective, very competitive. Not everybody got one that applied. So, Matuzak, you back there?
Yes, sir.
Would you come on down? A little nervous there. Maybe saw this coming or thought about it, but he earned a 13N. Messenger. Again, like I try to tell the seniors, I bring back everything to a real world event. In the news, you've heard about some scandals and some events. That means that we need a whole new set of 13Ns. It, again, was based on seeing somebody with integrity and would not have an issue that would be a scandalous nature in the future. So don't let me down. I don't think we're going to have an issue. And again, it's a guaranteed EA for field training. So got at least one of them. And then you won't be sitting around after commissioning. You'll probably head right off to training immediately. So I'll give you the 30 seconds of Do you want 18,000 per year, 9,000 per semester, a guaranteed EA? So to do that, again, you're going to take the oath of enlistment, and you'll have a boatload of paperwork to sign.
Yes, sir.
Sound good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Room to chat.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Matthew Matuzak,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
I bear true faith
That I bear true faith
and allegiance to the same.
and allegiance to the same.
And that I will obey
And I will obey
the orders of the President of the United States.
the orders of the President of the United States.
And I will obey
And I will obey
the orders of the officers appointed over me,
and the orders of the officers appointed over me,
according to regulations
according to regulations
and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Congratulations. For the next 3 years, so if you do some quick math, $18,000 per year, I just handed out, say again?
56 grand.
There we go, we got the Mountain Public guy, so that's a nice chunk of change for doing everything that you're supposed to and working hard. So that's all I have at this time. Does anybody else have any announcements that can top that?
I can't top it, but I'd like to say something, sir. Anytime y'all hear little scholarships, please put in the effort, especially if you feel like you may struggle. I know a lot of you don't want to fill out paperwork, but I've been living on little scholarships. So they've literally put me through 6 years of college, and I just received one last night. It's called River Rat Scholarship. They gave me $2,000. It is my last year, so it is a blessing in all senses. So please put forth effort. Literally, most of them are applications. That's it. You don't have to write a paper. But if you have struggles, and I know some of you do, put forth the effort. That's it.
If Len and Matuzak come with me, we'll go start filling out some paperwork.
boys.
Thanks to the Cadet Falcon for their review. All right, so what are some things that you all learned today? Anybody, just start throwing things out.
scholarships.
Situational awareness, good. DFAC procedures.
Folding clothes.
Attention. Okay, that's a good one. Attention to detail. Actually, I'm glad you brought that one up. With attention to detail, it goes just beyond what you're learning here, as far as making beds. What are the correct measurements? What are the right angles for hospital corners? How do you exactly roll socks? Although those are important and those are good things to practice, because when you get into active duty Air Force, those things can affect your life and somebody else's life in a bigger way. So if it needs to be, when it comes down to like you're fixing a plane or something, and let's say you may have accidentally left a tool somewhere, like maybe inside of a plane that you didn't think about, and that person goes to start the plane and maybe, I don't know, the engine blows up. Yeah, that one's going to be on you. So that attention to detail is very, very important. You need to carry it not just through your ROTC life, but into active duty. And just when you kind of notice those little things, just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. That's going to transition. So also, did anybody notice anything about the POC and their teaching methods or anything? Just throw any ideas out.
Helpful.
Oh, just go ahead.
Helpful.
Helpful. Okay.
Had a lot of pro tips.
Okay. What else? Yeah. Sense of urgency. Okay, very nice. Actually, with what Cadet 9 said about pro tips, just kind of listen to those little things. They're going to teach you the right way of how to do things to get you ready for your field training. And they're going to make sure that you know those standards and you basically know them like the back of your hand. But you also need to make sure that you can learn these little bitty tips that are going to help your flight mates out so you can be successful at field training. So, that's all I have. Anybody have any questions? All right. Well, I think we have enough time to do some flight chants. Let's start off with Alpha.
Where's Alpha?
You guys want to kind of separate the flights? Actually, Cadet Worley, sorry, get an announcement. Listen up, Cadet Worley has an announcement. All right, one quick thing.
For all of you that are running in the Tulsa Marathon Relays this weekend, stay here after LLab. I'm just going to have a quick meeting with y'all, hand out some itineraries of what's all going on, and just explain some very minor details, but please stay here because I really need to talk to you all. Thank you. All right, anyone else with a quickie? All right, let's have some fight chance. Go ahead, Alpha. Alpha Flight, who are we? Ankle Raiders! Ooh, kill 'em! Here, bro. Bravo Flight! What makes the grass grow? Blood makes the grass grow! Kill, kill, kill! Hair power! Last but not least, let's have Charlie Flight. I know. Charlie Flight, hands up. Charlie.
Charlie, you're a strong flight, hard flight, fighting in the field's gonna be a lieutenant someday. We got blood on our face, we set the pace, waving our gun all over the place. Sing, we will bite you.
Scream it!
We will bite you.
Good job, Charlie.
No one has any other announcements? That concludes this leadership class. 10-6-70! Go!